Vontomay. As soon as Basil sprang from his tent to defend Anates against her attackers, Vontomay feared Basil might perish before his master could tend to any potential wounds he might incur. In her panic, Vontomay fled to Watercress's tent to alert him about the skirmish. The master told her with that arrogant voice that Basil would not be harmed, but her frenzy was still at her helm, driving her decisions. With every intention to bestow a blessing of protection over Basil herself, Vontomay departed Watercress's tent in her human form. Her determination drove her onwards through the section of the campsite for high-ranking officials toward Basil's tent. She would finally meet the 13th Archspawn as herself. She would tell him everything. She would ally herself with him, and the demons could be damned trying to force him to suffer. With Vontomay's blessed barriers in place, Basil would be safe against their curses. It was then that Vontomay stumbled across the Carry Girl by mistake. Vontomay lost her nerve as she confronted Anates, still very much visible. Registering that the girl was drenched in blood, but not running for her life, Vontomay assumed.
You killed the men.
Yes. Anates stood straighter. She didn't seem proud of her victory, but she wasn't shying away from it either. To avoid continuing the strained encounter, Vontomay said the only thing she could think of, the only thing that had been on her mind.
You have my blessing. You will be protected.
As tradition, an archangel was supposed to give those whom they blessed a flower in their respective color, but there wouldn't be any fresh flowers under the snowdrift. Vontomay gave up the one she had been saving for Basil, that she had been keeping in her hair as an accent. Vontomay had hoped that even if Basil hadn't recognized her immediately, he'd piece together who she was based on the flower's brilliant blue color. Reluctantly, Vontomay infused a small blessing in the flower. Once she handed it over, she resumed her angelic form and disappeared as soon as the glowing petals distracted Anates. Vontomay flew off immediately. A horrid awkwardness replaced her fretful frenzy. Where her impulsiveness had driven her to act, all she wanted to do now was flee to the sky and leave the unexpected meeting behind. If she hadn't been flying, she would have curled her wings around her face and hidden. However, as her feathers had more important matters to attend to, she settled for covering her eyes with her palms. To mitigate her self-inflicted humiliation, Vontomay told herself that she had retreated from the crusade party to recover after bestowing Anates with her blessing. After all, she had been drained of a piece of her abilities, though it was a minuscule sliver when compared with the remainder of the vat she carried. Vontomay wouldn't admit that while she was stunned and embarrassed to have run into Anates by mistake, she was also relieved. However, Vontomay would recognize that the situation had probably unfolded in the best possible way. Not that she had wished harm upon Anates, but that Vontomay hadn't blessed Basil directly. Even if the archdemons wouldn't be able to harm him physically, they'd seek avenues to torture him however they could. It was for the best that Vontomay didn't provoke them. And she doubted blessing Anates would warrant retaliation. The girl didn't mean that much to him. The more Vontomay considered the scenario writ large, the better she felt about it. Anates would be safe the next time someone tried to harm her, and Vontomay had additional time to consider how she might finally introduce herself to Basil.